Assalamualaikum. Today my fellow friends and I will talk about the building that we choose for this coursework, which is KL Gateway Mall. Okay, my name is Safihani binti Muhammad Zaki and I will talk about the site condition and surrounding areas for this slide. Okay, KL Gateway is a green vertical township situated in the middle of Kuala Lumpur between Petaling Jaya and Bangsa in the heart of the mega city. The integrated development is surrounded by the requirement of humanity, including housing, retail shops and variety of F&B outlets. It is near the Federal Highway, Kerinci Link and the University LRT station. The Central Plaza situated in the center of this buzzing enclave features an eco-sustainable iconic ring that merged greenery greens and modernistic components into one holistic note, generating retail stores and outdoor landscape gardens together for residents to meet and interact within this safe refuge. KL Gateway Mall is the best location to be for everyone, with an accumulated retail environment that consistently fulfills the highest demand for today's retailers and customers.
Hi, my name is Nur Alisha Fatini and I'll be continuing the presentation to the next part, which is total build-up area including usable and circulation area. The build-up area is the external perimeter wall surfaces. It includes the carpet area, wall thickness and other unusable areas of the building. It is almost always larger than a carpet area. The build-up area is the entire size of the building divided by plot area. The plinth area, are also known as the build-up area, is the region surrounding the building that is not empty. The building area includes the following areas, which is the living room, bathroom, bedrooms, balcony, utility areas, staircase and also wall thickness. KL Gateway consists of 2 office towers, 5 residential towers and 5-level shopping mall, and a number of outside gardens and plazas make up the mixed-use project in Kuala Lumpur popular Kampung Kerinci neighbourhood and has many amenities which is linked with major highways such as Federal Highway, Kerinci Link, Sprint Highway and New Pantai Expressway. KL Gateway spans across 7.18 acres and boasts a green central park. The site area of KL Gateway is approximately 29,056 square meter. For KL Gateway, the build-up area is approximately 288,791 square meter, including the parking area, and the height is 200 meter. And this figure shows is the total GFA of area consists in KL Gateway. Total build-up area for KL Gateway Mall, total build-up area for KL Gateway Corporate Office Tower 1 Type A, B, C, D and E, and total built-up area for KL Gateway Residences Type A, B and C. The proportion of a property's floor space that is used for the function of the building is referred to as a usable area. It is a sub-area of the net room area according to the usable area. The usable space exclude traffic zones such as entrance, staircases, elevators and hallways, as well as technical areas, which is heating room, machine room and technical operation rooms, and building construction regions as well as wall and also column. Meanwhile, for circulation area, the movement of the people through, around and between buildings and other components of the built environment is referred to as circulation. Within buildings, circulation spaces include entrance, foyers and lobbies, hallway, staircases, landing and other areas that are primarily utilized for the circulation. There are 2 types of circulation spaces, those that facilitate horizontal circulation like corridors and those that facilitate vertical circulation like staircases and ramps. There may be also restricted to certain user groups. For example, in public buildings, there may be public circulation spaces as well as private circulation spaces with restricted access. They can be tight places like corridors and open spaces like atria, and they can fulfill various roles in some circumstances.
Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Salam binti Muhammad Fazil. Now I want to present 4 physical characteristics of the building, which is the first one is plane shape. Alright, every building must have a well-designed plane shape that is appropriate for the function of the structure while also being cost-effective to construct, and meeting the specific requirement is quite difficult. This is because the simplest plane shape usually result in a lower total cost of construction of a building, but in some cases, a building was not built with a simple plane shape because most clients demand that the proposed building not only serve its purpose, but also provide an aesthetic value, such as the SPRM Putrajaya. Alright, as you can see, according to Figure 1 and Table 1, both plane shape provide the same gross GFA, which is 900 meter square, but result in different of wall area of 480 meter square for building A and 520 meter square for building B. Alright, indicating that building A with a smaller ratio of wall area is more economical to construct than building B. Alright, the second one is the head. The cost of construction will rise as the head of the building structure. The construction cost of a high structure is more than the cost of a low structure with the same GFA. But if land is rare and expensive, a high-rise structure must be constructed. Alright. Okay, because of the increased load on the foundation, the cost of the foundation and structural frames will increase also. The cost of installing, operating, and maintaining elevator and escalator increase as the head of the building increase. Even if the cost of material does not change, the cost of shielding construction, finishes, and the higher floor rise owing to an increase in the rate of labor, vertical transportation costs, and scaffolding installations. An increase in building head will affect building maintenance costs such as repainting, wall cleaning, and air conditioning operating costs, among other things. Alright. After that, the number of story. The cost of a building varies depending on its design, structure, and construction. The unit cost of building will decrease if the number of story is increased without affecting the construction. This is also true when a structural frame is required to replace a load-bearing wall. Alright, as you can see, when the number of the story in two structures differ but with the same GFA, which is 800 meters square, the higher building is usually more expensive to construct. The following example demonstrate this. The building A has double the length of building B external walls. The cost of moving labor, plant, and materials during construction, as well as the cost of other components, rise with a higher structure. Alright, upper floor construction costs will be higher than lower floor construction costs, not only because of the expense of the hoisting mechanism, but also because of the necessity for formwork and additional reinforcement. Alright, the last one is the functional requirements. It is self-evident that the function of a structure will have a significant impact on its cost. Apartment and commercial projects have a quite distinct cost range than housing. Similarly, the cost of providing public facilities like conference center, theaters, and sports stadium is not directly proportional to the cost of providing public infrastructure like hospital and schools. Alright, the main functional requirement for the design and performance of a good building should be relevant for the design and performance of a good building, which is the first one is the building structure system should be solid and safe. And then the second one is it should be rigid enough that its decline does not affect the structure's ability to perform a required function. And then the last one, from a performance perspective, the building should be well designed to provide comfort and convenience to the structure's residents. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Azrafina. I will continue present the construction methods. For the first one is preliminaries. Preliminaries can appear in tender document that provides a project description that allows the contractor to assess the cost. Preliminary costs for the construction are essential because preliminaries can impact the entire project. During preliminary stage, there have three costs that need to be estimated, which are initial costs, recurring costs, and final costs. Example of initial cost is performance bonds, insurance, and so on. While for recurring costs such as the water utilities, overheads, rental sites, and the final costs such as land survey costs. Okay, next is subsoil. The subsoil is the layer of under the topsoil on the ground surface. It is composed of a variable mixture of small particles such as sand, silt, and clay. It is depending on the site used relative undisturbed. Sample may be brought to make the estimates of engineered properties for strength, stability, and water flow. This is because the changes in the foundation system can increase the cost. The factor that need to be considered for subsoil, such as the loads from building on the foundation, because the load are the combinations of imposed and dead load in the building. And second is types of foundations, such as isolated, bad foundations, rough, and so on. Because the smaller foundations can help to reduce the cost. Next, we will continue with the frames. The frame has four types, which are reinforced concrete frame, steel frame, timber frame, and aluminium frames. A few factors that need to be considered is time for erections, and also require other equipment because sometimes maybe they use precast, so needs more equipment, and also the types of frame itself. Frame has two categories, which is concrete and steel. While for our case study, the KL Gateway use a reinforced concrete because reinforced concrete is more economical than the steel. In the most case, concrete does not require any additional fire protections because of its built in resistance to the fire. Next, continue with the wall. A crucial phase in the building construction. It is a loading structure to transfer loads from the floor to the floor below or the foundations. Concrete wall is a desirable structure element in earthquake-prone areas since it is exhibit uh, satisfactory performance during the earthquake. Uh, it is dramatically control the safety of the building. A few factors that need to be considered of choosing the wall is a simple fabrication of the design procedure because it can help to reduce the cost of the project and the preliminary cost itself. Next is we continue with the roof. Roof for KL Gateway using is the flat roof. Flat roof is a more cost effective and tends to fit into the uniform ideal that can most industrial district demand. The flat roof has 3 to 12 degree of slope relative to the walls. Can be expensive upfront, nearly 80% per foot if using some of the higher end materials. This lifespan can be more longer if the cost of the building can be increased, but it will be expensive. One factor that influences the cost of using the flat roof is roof span. Okay, let's continue with the staircase. It is too easy and straightforward to move between the level to another level. In the old days, stairs helps the building user quickly and effectively access upper level. But as the building grew, the staircase swiftly becomes more necessary. Most of the building use the elevator, including KL Gateway. Staircase still be accessible, but more to people with level of physical ability through the installations of stair lift and ramps, and can be used for emergencies there. Next is the window. The window enables the occupants of the building to enjoy the view. The window serves to keep the building cross-ventilated. The purpose of the window in KL Gateway is to provide the space with natural free light to orient the world outside. The window frame has been chosen based on the height quality when comparing to the quality of woods or the quality of vinyl and uh, vice versa. Choosing the suitable window can be the aesthetic opening for the KL Gateway. The window can be complements the other elements for the building perfectly. Next is the upper floor. Floor strength depends on the materials properties such as timber, reinforced concrete, and steel. The strength of the floor structure should be adequate to carry the loads of this floor. There are two types of floor, which is precast and in situ concrete. Upper floor secured by wall and roof must be durable for the structural life and require little maintenance, repair, and improvement. Okay, next, continue with the finishes. Finishes is an element that can give the building a high cost. It is the selected of the finishes is also the vital phase to get the value for money used in the final part of the construction or manufacture process. The appearance of KL Gateway on the floor finishes should be aesthetic. And it's made of different materials available in market, which is different colors, shapes, design, and so on. Durability and quality may increase along with the cost. Last construction method that need to be considered is the service because the service that need to be we consider is the mechanical installations and lift installations. The factor influence the cost of service such as cost for lift installations. Because cost of lifts can be too high, many elements can impact the total cost of the lift dimensions, since the size of the cabins also influence the cost. And same goes to the door, because the features of KL gateway is important, and the tall building will require more staff. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I am Nur Fatima Biha, and now I will explain about plans and equipment, also technology and management involved in our case study project, which is KL Gateway. In construction, we need to use plans and equipment for earthwork, excavating, and concreting work. The proper selection of plans and equipment must be suitable with the high-rise building to ensure that projects are complete on schedule. Bulldozers are used to remove the topsoil layer after a certain depth. It is commonly used to remove with soil or rock strata. Basically, bulldozers are used to move large amounts of earth or soil at a wide, open building site. Backhoe loaders are wheel-driven and frequently used in urban areas since they can operate more precisely. It is used to dig up hard, compact material, to smooth the uneven sides ground, or to lift heavy loads. Next, fresh shovel can be used to excavate any type of soil, including loosened rock from blasting. In construction, fresh shovel are more suited to trench, foundation, and basement excavation. As we know, KL Gateway has a basement parking lot, so a fresh shovel is the more suitable plant to excavate the basement. Dumpers can be used for horizontal transportation of materials like gravel, sand, or soil on and off site. Technique of conveying the mixed concrete and the mixers, the start's height requirement will all influence the selection of concrete mixing equipment. Here are the types of concrete plants. First, concrete patching and mixing plant is used to produce uniform homogeneous concrete and mainly used for mixing large quantities of concrete. The advantages are better quality concrete is produced and can reduce the storage space for basic material on site. Second, concrete mixer mainly used for mixing small quantity of concrete. The function of a concrete mixer is to combine cement with sand or gravel and water to form concrete. Concrete transit mixer is used to transport concrete mortar from a concrete batching plant. Last, concrete pump is a machine used for transferring liquid concrete by pumping. They are used for horizontal and vertical transportation of large volume of concrete in short duration. Advantage of using a concrete pump in large construction area is that it is more efficient and convenient way to execute a project. It might help save money on labor. By using a concrete pump, the concrete can be delivered to the high-rise building. Hoisting and lifting plants equipment. It is used on a construction site to transport material or passenger vertically and mainly for lifting or lowering of unit load, and it needs to be carefully planned and executed in line with the lifting, operation and lifting equipment regulation 1998 LOLR. Type of hoisting plant is boom hoist. It used to lift weight on hooks that are hooked to special metal ropes that are intended to withstand high loads. Second, electric hoist. It is mostly utilized for quick work and material handling, and it can save a lot of time and labor, which helps to keep working costs low. Next, chain hoist. It is made of chain rope and a pulley that is used to move a load from one location to another. Next, lifting plants equipment. The lifting equipment in the KL Gateway project used is a tower crane, since it is a high-rise building. Tower crane is used to construct towering construction, such as skyscraper. The advantage is it can exceed any other crane in terms of loading and can operate where ground conditions are poor and does not need adequate operating clearance. Next, I will explain about technology involved in KL Gateway. Technology refers to a combination of skills, methods, procedure, and technique employed in the creation of goods and services. KL Gateway is constructed according to the Green Building Index (GBI) of Malaysia. Rainwater harvesting system is technology that collects and stores rainwater for human consumption and most typically found in urban area. The benefit of rainwater harvesting system are include potable water saving, flood mitigation in urban catchment, reduce nutrient loss to water risk, and can lower carbon footprint compared to other water supply system. It is also more efficient energy use due to less pumping from source to user and more cost-effective and dependable alternative to standard water delivery technique. KL Gateway iconic ring use ATFE roof. ATFE is solution for the skylight, create an inspiring and memorable environment for the public. Technology and KL Gateway is individual air conditioning system. It is used to save electricity consumption. It just needs a control system to regulate the operation of a heating or air conditioning system. The thermostat are used as temperature control device. It detects the temperature in the room. Curtain wall. It is a non-structural exterior covering of a building that serves only to keep the weather out and the people in. It can be created a system that includes a frame, a wall panel, and weatherproofing materials. The major function of a curtain wall system is shield the interior of a building from natural phenomena. It also can provide an architectural beautiful appearance as well as features such as daylight. Next, I will explain about the management involved in KL Gateway. The management entails planning, monitoring, and controlling a project toward its success. In KL Gateway, the developer is Swiss Capital Standard Berhad, which is a well-established company that specializes in property development management and investing. Architect job scope is to design new construction projects as well as alteration and redevelopments. The architects involved in KL Gateway are 10 Design Architects Hong Kong and CHY Architects Berhad. 10 Design is an international architecture and master planning practice with office in Hong Kong. CHY Architects Berhad is a young and energetic practice that constantly provides new and customized design to suit sophisticated clients' needs. Engineering consultant is expert in working on short-term projects for a variety of clients. In KL Gateway, the engineering consultant is TCC Engineering Consultant. TCC is adept at working in a range of materials, including precast concrete, structural steel and composite construction, as well as modern lightweight architectural forms utilizing stainless steel and glass.
Next is cost-related. Sustainable construction involves a long-term perspective, taking into account that the structure's original capital cost as well as its ongoing operation costs. Reduce operation and utility expenses, reduce maintenance costs, and overall improvement in the building's performance and efficiency are the principal economic benefit of green development. The short-term costs of sustainable practices are also thought to be too high to justify their use in a high competitive market. Despite significant advancement in the best practice, there is still a gap in the adoption of sustainable building methods that increase building performance. The gap is mostly due to the lack of client demand as well as the perception that environmentally friendly construction methods are more expensive than standard construction methods. To enable for more sustainable solutions, more consultants can add a considerable margin of 10% to capital expenses. The building sector has always been shrouded in secrecy. Clients, contractors, and stakeholders are often wary about disclosing cost information. As a result, data and costs of the sustainable construction has been sluggish to emerge. Some requirements that were originally thought to increase expenses are now proven to be cost-neutral or even better. One such example is the Sustainable Urban Drainage projects, which show significant cost reduction due to the lower pipe and hard drainage expenses. Energy cost reductions, water cost reductions, and mechanical equipment reductions are just a few of the economic benefits of developing greener buildings. There are some business benefits of sustainable building, which is the first one is capital cost saving, decreased operation expenses, better investment returns, increased productivity, more effective resource usage, and big corporate image. Energy efficient design could be more affordable than traditional design. This has also highlighted the necessity for a shift in feasibility study. The current practices of project feasibility study prioritize economic performance over social and environmental performance, implying the need to change from the traditional strategy of project feasibility study to a new approach that embraces sustainable development concept. When determining housing affordability, individuals should also consider the ecology and social sustainability of housing. This has proven that rather than focusing exclusively on financial features, taking into account a variety of social and environmental criteria can have a significant impact on the determination of the area's affordability.
In this slide, I will elaborate our plan shape idea for improve the building in the perspective of construction economics. Through significant research and analysis of building morphology, it is obvious how important a plan form for a structure in determining if the proposed building is cost-effective to develop and also fulfill its own purpose. As a result, for this project, a basic plan form was proposed that include all the building capable of serving a lot of people and completely equipped with its purpose and other services for community. This minimal and rectangular plan design was selected specifically to make the unit price for its construction as low as possible, perhaps saving the client funds. Furthermore, when compared to other complicated plan shapes, this rectangular yet simple plan shape is more cost-effective and save money by reducing a variety of related costs. We still maintain a round shape for the design of Central Plaza. Therefore, the round shape were an eco-friendly iconic ring-style landscape brings and contemporary modern components into one harmonic note, bringing retail stores and outdoor tropical gardens together for residents to mingle with this safe haven. A rectangular and round shape is cost-effective since it has a low GFA ratio value, allowing this plan shape of the design to save a significant amount of overall building costs.
Continue present the story height. First, if the story heights of the building use the standard story height, it may decrease the cost for machineries or equipment. It may also be necessary to provide the space within false ceilings for service ducts, for cables, pipes, or air conditioning. That's for KL Gateway. Since the building has too many story height, a story height of 3.5 meter is considered practical for most buildings. Next, by using the simple interpretations is used for KL Gateway, it can be reduce the cost for the building, increase the building story height, influences building costs with the same gross floor area. The difference in maintenance and construction costs is more prominent, especially in vertical building. Then constructions for the foundations and the structure frame is reduced due to the reducing the loads of the foundations that can be used is smaller, and piling will not be needed since the story height is not too high. This means the cost of the building also can be reduced. Furthermore, if the story height of the KL Gateway is not too high, all the costs and expenses for the elevator and lift can be reduced since the cable for the lift will be shorter. Sometimes for the stair, if the story height is only 2 to 3 story, the cost can be reduced by installing the stair and the lift, or elevator is not needed. Last but not least, the number of the air conditioning can be reduced if the story heights for KL Gateway is decreasing. Then the installations of the air conditioning will be reduced. The volume of the story heights building is decreasing because of the lower capacity for the cooling purpose needed. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
The third component to improve the building in the perspective of construction economics in terms of design variable is building facade. Facade is a major building component that has the ability to improve sustainable construction through effective energy conservation and economic contribution through the use of green materials, labors, and plants. According to Waranchi on his thesis, in terms of cost, building facade count around 15 to 40% of overall building costs, and studies have shown that the cost of facade maintenance is 5 to 10% of the initial cost. KL Gateway consists primarily of glass and a series of loop undulating vertical metal fence facade. Glass used in exterior building can add aesthetical value to the building. However, heat can be absorbed by the glass facade. As a result, it can act as a greenhouse gas and is hence unsuitable for country with hot climates. Therefore, I suggest using aluminum facade instead of glass because it is the most cost-effective structural solution available. Aluminum can give features of lightness and corrosion resistance. Furthermore, its durability. Aluminum alloys for construction are resistant to water and fire. It is also low-cost maintenance whether it is raw or coated aluminum and does not require any extra maintenance. Moreover, because aluminum can be anodized or coated in any color, it may produce a wide range of effects and so suit the designer decorative requirement. Aluminum treatments can improve the material's durability and corrosion resistance. Aluminum is commonly used in light management because of its reflective characteristic which help to reduce lighting and heating energy usage. For example, by utilizing aluminum shielding device during the summer, it is feasible to reduce the usage of air conditioning. Alright, that's all from me, and now let's go to the next presenter, Alicia.
For building size, in most cases, increasing the size of a building decreases its unit cost. The cost of a product does not grow in proportion of its size. The lower the cost per square meter, the larger the building's floor area. Theoretically, the overall cost of constructing a large structure is higher than that of constructing a small structure. A large building requires more construction materials, more power, and a larger mechanical plant, among other things. However, it is less expensive per unit because the permanent cost of the project does not grow in direct proportion to the size of the structure. There are few things that do not arise in conjunction with the project size: transportation, the development and deconstruction of temporary structures on site, the installation of a store, the construction of a temporary access road, and other expenditures. The wall to GFA ratio does not vary in proportion to the building size. The ratio is reduced for huge structures, indicating that they are more cost-effective to construct. Development of a large structure is more cost-effective than just a series of simple and small buildings with the same gross floor area, since costs such as exterior wall construction and related works, piping works, roof installation, and so on will be lower. Furthermore, cost of services is expensive. Lift, escalators, air conditioning, and electrical components installation will not decrease proportionately with the size of the structure. Installation, operating, and maintenance costs are included. We are really concerned about the cost issue because of the high cost of the services. Due to the size of the development size, the cost of these services will not influence on the final cost of the project development. The KL Gateway is also a project that includes a number of different categories, including the corporate office towers, residential, and retail. All of these necessitates high quality, well-organized services. Building services play an important role in the design of building, not only in terms of overall strategies and standards to be met, but also in terms of facade engineering, the weight, size, and location of major plants and equipment, the position of vertical service risers, horizontal services, distribution routes, drainage, energy sources, and sustainability, and among other things. The expenses of maintaining a huge structure will be increased. Since it is increased the size, it demands the maintenance of more components and areas. The method used to improve the buildings and other facilities have a decent look and performance at peak efficiency is known as maintenance. Poor maintenance can lead to a degradation and decreased performance, affecting the health and safety of the users, tenants, and others in the area, which is why proper maintenance is essential. It is critical to ensure that the performance in the building maintenance practices, since without it, the building operation will not work well. The KL Gateway is a project that seeks to address the issue of maintenance. This category comprises all development components such as corporate office towers, residential, and also retail. Everything requires systematic maintenance. As a result, we recommend that the building size of the KL Gateway project is being increased considerably. There are numbers of possibilities that have affected our decision to propose expanding the building size for the KL Gateway project. We look at several very clear elements that should be emphasized in the discussion about the expanding the size of this structure. As previously said, money is a major consideration in this case. It is also been explained that increasing the size of the project building does not affect the price of the construction. This is due to the fact that it does not increase the proportion of the project's size, because cost remains the same because the size of the site is the same.
Alright, for the task 2, to improve the building in the total head perspective of construction economics, following a thorough study and analysis of building morphology, it is evident how important a total head for a structure is in determining whether or not the intended building is cost effective to construct while also meeting its objective. As a result, for the KL Gateway Premium Resident Building, a high-rise building was offered, which included a vertical mixed-use development. We will suggest increasing the total height of the project because the project was in an urban area, so that the value of the land is limited and expensive. So, we suggest constructing the height for that project will be 222 meter height. For that come from 5 meter story height for ground floor, 5 meter story height of podium car park on level 1 to level 6, and then 5 meter story height of podium facilities floor on level 7, 5 meter story height for stand unit on level 8 to level 16, 4 meter story height for water break tank floor on level 17, 4 meter story height for standard unit on level 18 to level 34, 4 meter double story height for penthouse on level 35 to level 38, and then 10 meter height for roof facilities and 6 meter height for rooftop. Nevertheless, the cost for piling maintenance, mechanical system and facilities may rise because of the increase of quantity, but still it is suitable other than expanding the site. For this project, we suggest total height construction because it is the most economical total height building in Malaysia, and this is because to make sure that the rate of ventilation is higher and can be naturally ventilated. The foundation cost will decrease if the total height increase and the foundation construction shape does not change. But if the piling for foundation is neat, the cost of foundation will be increased. Alright, since bore piling has a higher bearing capacity than standard driven piles, it is the best technique to apply in high-rise building construction where the structure must support a high vertical load. And bore piling, on the other hand, has a greater initial cost due to the necessity for such specialized machinery or process. Thank you.